Now, I'm simply going to say I'm doomed. The odds of survival are stacked against me. My current job isn't enough to sustain me. And one tiny thing that goes wrong could be the end of, my living situation. And I probably wouldn't be able to post anything anymore. Or who knows, I might be. I'm in a very tough situation to where I need something really big to happen in my life that can change it. And the chances of something big happening, even if it's just a higher paying job, that would be a big change that will be able to sustain me. But I was thrown under the bus by my previous job because I mentioned I was hearing voices, which I was, and because I'd taken some days off to try to recover, they told HR, and HR removed me from my work for 3 months and then proceeded to dismiss any medical documents that said I was fine and able to return to work because I didn't have their specific documents signed within a 15-day time span. And those 15 days included the weekends. And they found someone else to replace me at the job. It was substitute teaching. And now I stopped hearing the voices recently. I was on medication and I stopped taking the medication, so because it was an accident at first, and then I just tested to see if how I would react, and I've been fine ever since. So I was thrown under the bus because of what I heard, and they sent police officers to my apartment because they thought I was going to attack the kids. So I even told the police the situation. But yeah, that hit me so hard that I had to sell most of my possessions and stuff I was planning on saving up that could have become something big in the future, like 20 years down the line. It would have been worth like thousands of dollars, but I had to sell it for way less, like $40, just to survive. And everything I invested in, I had to sell just to survive. And I was going through an eviction because I was supposed to have my rent reduced, and they didn't reduce my rent, and the bills kept adding up, and then I had to pay more than what was in my bank account. So yeah, I had to sell all my possessions, and I worked something out to where I didn't have to go through eviction, but I'm still like, they could evict me at any time for any reason. And they're going to do a inspection on my apartment, and if they find anything out of place, then that could be a 30-day notice. So I may not be in this apartment for that much longer. I may be going through the homeless life, and I know I may not be like homeless out on the street, but I may be accepted by my parents or my sister or my other sister. But I'm becoming more of a burden, and I'm doing my best. I tried filling out applications for many jobs and was hoping to get a high paying job, but I didn't get a high paying job. And it's a terrible situation. And one little thing that is not in my control that goes wrong could be the end. And don't worry, I still have faith. That's not the issue. It's just the only way this situation will change is something really big happens in a short amount of time. And that time could be anywhere between a month from now, 3 months, or 2 years. But sooner or later, it's going to hit. And I'm having a hard time preparing for it. I'm limited in what I can do, limited in what I know, and what I can talk about. And with the way the world is acting up, I may be even more limited in ways that goes against my current situation and is out of my control completely. So I know this sounds like a sad message, but the point is that when the odds are stacked up against you and you're thrown under the bus for being honest and truthful about your situation, it's how you handle it that helps you grow as a person. And even if you're thrown into a homeless situation, it's how you handle it by being content. Because sometimes there's nothing you can do. And if the whole world rejects you, then you lose everything. But there's some things that you do not lose. The spiritual gifts that you acquire are what you get to keep. And you may have to face absolute nothingness and absolute poverty as a test of God. And sometimes you get to avoid it. And it can be very sad. And you don't always get to let other people know what you're going through. I may not be able to post videos if I'm suffering to that degree. I'm suffering and about to be there that degree. And I know some people don't want me talking about it because they don't want to hear about it, but the reality of the situation is I'm so close to death's door that it's unsettling and uncomfortable to pretend like I'm not. So, I don't know what's going to happen. It could all change in an instant, and I could be saved from this situation. But the point is, many people go through this, and many people suffer, and they're not saved from it. Whether I'm saved or not, what matters is all my spiritual progression, how much faith I have in God, and how true I am to that. I may not make it in this world. I may not make it for that much longer. The way the world is functioning right now is not designed to sustain people that get rejected in society. And people do not want to accept the truth. They'd rather throw it under the bus if it doesn't benefit them. Only if the truth benefits them in some way. If it goes against something that they want, then they will throw you under the bus. And you can do everything you can to please these people, but they're going to call themselves good as they watch you suffer. They even tell you your suffering is over and still throw you under the bus. I wouldn't trust anyone. I can't trust anyone now. I'm in a position to where I'm helpless. But despite that, I'll continue for as long as I can. But if you wanted to know my situation, it is a very close to the edge situation. So if I just disappear suddenly, you know why.